So all about here is talking about strategic planning. I think not only first thing is a tactical plan of action that's designed to achieve a major goal. And you want to think about it in terms of the tactics. And I think that's when other videos around the recommendation, I'd often combine the recommendation and the implementation because they go together. And if you look at the teams I've coached in the past, their performances, often they have this whole idea. Here is the recommendation, including the implementation pieces as they go along. So often it's a phase type of strategy that they're introducing within their solution. And here's the implementation of those pieces of that strategy. There's two types of strategy: business strategy, operational, and transformational. They're a little bit different. So business strategy is a plan that outlines actions and decisions for achieving goals and gaining competitive advantage. So that overall RPPs. Often goes hand in hand with the operational strategy, which is a plan that guides how to use the resources, achieve business objectives, and optimize those core processes. So it's a piece often of the business strategy overall. But there's separate things that you start to think about. And again, because they're related so well, I think that's again thinking about the recommendation, the implementation part of your case-solving solutions. That's why they go together quite nice. And then the other side of things is the transformational strategy, which is the plan for fundamental organizational wide change that's significant. It's going to change the performance, the competitiveness of your organization. This is often includes the business strategy, the operational strategy. But this is where you can go. You can go big or go home in a lot of cases. This is where, competition you to be going. Here's a huge change, but you need to get a lot of detail, away as they're thinking about this big change that you're presenting to your audience. So, employees, stakeholders, all the stakeholders, employees, customers, consumers, executives, shareholders, regulators, all those pieces. Some of them will end up being a little more important, and especially if you have a short presentation or a short time to resolve a case, you're going to focus in on a few key of those. But you need to make sure that, we've thought about all of these people. Here's the key people we need to consider, and this is how they fit into our plan and our strategy. You need to look at all of the process and look at how you can improve them. So it involves a review of those processes and looking for improvement. How do you maximize the use of technology? Nowadays with AI, I think that's also an important piece of where does the AI fit in? Where is it going to benefit your company? Where is the human action still going to benefit the company? And looking at the different phases of development to do this. And so phasing in the pieces of the strategy a little bit at a time. And then there's we base this on the why. The why comes from your analysis. You need to figure out what the aspiration is, verify what you want to achieve, what are the subsequent decisions, the actions that need to play out. Where do you want to play? The markets, the segments, the niches. How do you focus? What crucial piece do you want to focus on? So thinking about target markets, all of those pieces come into this. How do you then determine the competitive advantage, the selling point, the value proposition, those types of things? And it can be things like bringing superior value to customers, but even that. There's also other things that fit into this, but thinking about what do we need to do in order to land in this specific place that we're playing to achieve our aspiration. And then you have to think about the resources in place. What I call for the execution of the together. And you have some distinctive strengths within those resources that set you apart. You take big advantage of and thinking about those type of things. And then thinking about, the systems that are needed, the support systems, support processes, and how do you ensure the strategy will meet. There are a bunch of tools that you can use to do this. There are videos on each of these. Things like SWOT analysis, 45 forces, using things like strategic factors, using things like the value chain, and there's a number of other ones. But again, connecting the tools that help you sort of understand bring it all together. How do you get that management commitment that's ingrained into the plan? So your plan has to show, your strategy has to show how you prepare them. How do you strengthen the culture? And so you do that, you set realistic. Maybe you don't know the visionary that you build a spec, but they are realistic. The awareness of the you empower stakeholders, the empower employees. That's the ongoing communication. What's the branding that's sort of given? It's something to remember. Hugely important piece, and we'll talk about this in a change management video, is how you recognize it. Make sure it's your celebration in order to celebrate and recognize champion, to recognize improvements, all those type of things, and make sure that you celebrate it.
Join us in transforming the lives of young aspiring professionals by supporting our podcast, to Discover Your Mad Skills Toolkit YouTube channel, and our LinkedIn newsletter at buymeacoffee.com/treadsoftly, or by scanning the QR code below. Your contributions directly fuel our mission to equip these individuals with the vital mad skills that today's employers demand. Together, we can make a significant impact on their career to success.